I would love to have a cosy space where I could wrap up warm and hide, get a book and read until it's late, finally some peace of mind. But I'm often too unorganised, too messy for a picturesque place. How pleasant to be kind enough that you allow yourself a cosy space. Yet today is a Tuesday, so maybe it is time to light the candle and pull the curtains and pretend everything is fine. So I have a newfound pastime, and it is watching cosy reading and writing vlogs, and I think it's clear to see why the coziness aesthetic is a desirable one. It is warm and it is safe and it is relaxed, and I think life can feel quite stressful a lot of the time, and when I'm watching these videos I feel a sense of contentment. And although I know that these videos kind of create a false ideal, because most of the time, at least for me, life does not feel that cozy. Most of the time life feels a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's nice to feel, when you're watching these videos, for a moment that things are okay, and things are cozy, and things are warm, and everything is great. And these videos often contain shots of candles, or shots of fireplaces, or shots of TVs displaying a 1 hour stream of a fireplace. And they contain rainy landscapes or wintry landscapes, and they contain cups of tea and woolly socks and reading a book. And yes, I think those things are really nice. So I thought I would try to create my own cozy video, and also try to create my own cozy reading space in this very small flat. So let's create a cozy reading space. And the first thing I did was I turned my TV on and put on a live stream of a fireplace, and it turned out the live stream was 11 hours long, which is incredible. Next I found a nice warm blanket and also some nice woolly socks. And I also got my Kindle, and I am reading The Whalebone Theatre at the moment, which I would say is quite a cosy book. And then I also remembered that I needed snacks, so I got some Biscoff, which are my favourite biscuits. And then I made a cup of tea. This was my cup of tea of choice. Some nice cranberry, some nice cranberry and raspberry. And then I made the tea. This is me making the tea, very nice. And then I had a nice cosy reading space. So I have kind of created a cosy space with the limited resources I have. I put the pillows all nice, and I've got a blanket, and I've got my Kindle over there. So this evening I think I will spend some time reading over there. I've also got a cup of tea, which is very mandatory when wanting to create a feeling of contentment. And I've also turned my TV into a fireplace. And now I thought, because I'm adhering to the cozy aesthetic, I would share some of my favourite cozy books. And I was having a think about what cozy books really mean, and I think it means when they are wholesome and they don't deal with particularly heavy themes. And so when I was thinking of cozy books, I was thinking a lot about children's books that I read when I was younger, because I think every time I reread a children's book that I used to love, I do get a feeling of coziness, and it makes it feel warm and happy. And so some of my favourite children's books are Peter Pan and The Emerald Atlas and The House on the Cerulean Sea. I think these books really contain a wholesome story that makes you feel good. Although Peter Pan does have themes about growing up and dying. I mean, it opens with 2 is the beginning of the end, or something to that effect, which is a little bit foreboding. But also because I used to love it as a child, I feel like it has the joy of my childhood embedded within it, so it will always feel cozy to me. And I was trying to think of some adult books that I also found cozy, but I can't really think of too many. I recently read Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, which I've heard described as being like a cozy Christmas read. And although yes, the book was set at Christmas, I don't believe it to be cozy at all. It's quite tense and stressful, and reminds you of kind of how horrible human beings can be, and how these horrible things that humans can do can be kind of right in front of you, but you might just not notice them. You know, you might be surrounded by terrible deeds, but you just might not know of them occurring. So I wouldn't say that that book made me feel particularly safe and warm and content. And so yes, I think children's books are probably the way to go if you want to feel cozy. But if you have any literary fiction books that you thought were cosy, please let me know, because literary fiction is probably my favourite genre of book to read. And I also thought what I would do now, as we've created a cosy environment, I would read some of Peter Pan to you, because there is this extract that I really like. It's only a couple of minutes, so I thought I would read it. Children have the strangest adventures without being troubled by them. For instance, they may remember to mention, a week after the event happened, that when they were in the wood they met their dead father and had a game with him. It was in this casual way that Wendy one morning made a disquieting revelation. Some leaves of a tree had been found on the nursery floor, which certainly were not there when the children went to bed, and Mrs. Darling was puzzling over them when Wendy said with a tolerant smile, "I do believe it is that Peter again." "Whatever do you mean, Wendy?" "It is so naughty of him not to wipe," Wendy said, sighing. She was a tidy child. She explained in a quite matter-of-fact way that she thought Peter sometimes came into the nursery in the night and sat on the floor of her bed and played on his pipes to her. Unfortunately, she never woke, so she didn't know how she knew. She just knew. "What nonsense you talk, Precious. No one can get into the house without knocking." "I think he comes in by the window," she said. "My love, it is 3 floors up." "Were not the leaves at the foot of the window, Mother?" It was quite true. The leaves had been found very near the window. Mrs. Darling did not know what to think, for it all seemed so natural to Wendy that you could not dismiss it by saying she had been dreaming. "My child," the mother cried, "why did you not tell me of this before?" "I forgot," said Wendy lightly. She was in a hurry to get to breakfast. Oh, surely she must have been dreaming. And what I love about this scene is how Mrs. Darling thinks her daughter has gone absolutely mental. And that is all. And I hope you have a cosy evening and try not to be too stressed by life. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye bye.